Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our review for February, the 26th of February for the previous week. Oh man, what a week it's been, ladies and gentlemen. This time last week, I was absolutely felt like it would have been better to have been last week I had there were two thoughts that occurred through my head throughout the entire day. The first was, what's the point? I mean, seriously, what is even the point in being alive? The second, I really need a shit. And that's consensus fell on my poor stomach for the next 3 days, to be honest. I wasn't well enough to actually go into work on Monday, and it was. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's the first. That was the very first time in nearly 3 years of being back in work that I actually had to take a sick day because things aside from the world falling out of my arse, the fatigue it just sort of sets in when your entire body is just trying to force whatever's out of you is it's a horrible feeling. And you just feel yourself, you hit the wall a little bit with the fatigue. And seeing as how that was kind of like the running theme throughout a lot of Monday, there was no way I was going to be able to there was no way I was going to be able to drive without the feeling of either I'm going to shit myself or I need to stay as focused as I am on the road. Because I've mentioned this a few times before, ladies and gentlemen, is that when I drive, I've got a very, very concentrated job to do. And ironically, it was actually when I was behind the wheels when my stomach seemed to be, it sorted itself out. I didn't get any cramps. I didn't have any needs to, use the lavatory immediately. It felt a bit strangely natural just to stay focused and not to think about anything else except my driving and, the safety of others. It's a very interesting little cycle I had there, which unfortunately all came to an end by the second I either arrive at work or arrive home, and I have to do what any man has to do in these situations: run for the lavatory at lightning speed. And it continued that way until Thursday, actually, when I got these Imodia. I think they're called Imodias. These sort of little tablets that you just sort of put on your tongue and they dissolve, and they're designed to for people who suffer from diarrhea. And after about I won't say how many times I had it during that day, but it actually seemed to do some good. And another thing that did to do me a lot of good was that I kept myself hydrated throughout the day, which is one of the best things you could possibly do for your body anywhere, let alone when you're suffering from food poisoning or diarrhea. You want to just keep your body on top as much as possible. And not to mention eating plenty of fruit. That's a lot of things like vitamin C, for example, definitely got me through the last week with probably more than I even care to dare let on, I suppose. However, ladies and gentlemen, and while this disaster was going on, it didn't exactly inhibit me from doing other things. So you know what I mean? I mean, for example, this previous week we have actually managed to do something very, very extraordinary, ladies and gentlemen. We actually managed to get to the 200,000 view mark. This means only less, actually, than 800,000 views to go by August 15th. We absolutely, there was, you would not believe, ladies and gentlemen, exactly how better in a situation we are in right now. Because even if I check my computer, let's see. Oh, sorry about this, guys. I just needed to find out where it is, and here we are. see now, if we just go down to February, the figures showcase that in February people watched I got 25,927 views in February. Now, to give you some, I'll go through the contexts of how many that is in the grand scheme of the growth of this channel is concerned. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, it's not the end of February yet. There's every opportunity we face that we can absolutely get to possibly 30,000 or maybe even 50,000 by that time. Maybe 50,000 is a bit too ambitious for my liking, but you know what? Really, I'm not too shy from being ambitious, ladies and gentlemen, as the coming weeks will showcase, because there are so many things to look forward to throughout March, April, May, June, July, and August. That I know this is it's a bit early to be looking ahead, but I think absolutely we can do it, because of not just the things on my channel, but the things I'm going to showcase to you. So, in many ways, ladies and gentlemen, being sick is actually one of the healthiest things that can happen to you. I know it sounds like a bit of an oxymoron, but again, I'll explain that you actually do feel more invigorated. You feel like you can actually do more once you're fit and healthy again. And it's not, I wouldn't recommend people get sick just to test this theory out, but it seems to have done wonders for me, and I look forward to seeing what it will do for people like you, ladies and gentlemen. And I will see all of you guys again next week for the beginning of March. Take care, and bye-bye for now.